Why am I spread like a starfish? Well, to touch all 3 countries at once.
Basel is one of Europe's hidden gems, where Switzerland meets France and Germany at a single point. Its unique location makes it the perfect base to experience 3 different cultures, all in one city.
Over the next 5 days, we'll be using Basel as our base to explore not only its ample museums, quaint streets, and incredible food, but also to venture out on 2 day trips. Just a taste of the many options available from this central location.
This is day 1 and we're starting by exploring Basel itself. We are going to begin our day here in Basel with tasting some history, and that is the famous Leckerly. You can only find this here in this city.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to Jakob's Basler Läckerly, the oldest biscuit manufacturing site in Switzerland.
This is Astrid, our lovely guide.
Since 1753. And we do our Leckerlis every day, freshly by hand. So, come on backstage. I will have to ask you to please put the white ones over your hand. I'm going to give you a short introduction or a historical review about the recipe was invented. The sugar became cheaper and easier available in Europe, so the households started to experiment with the sugar. And here in Switzerland, in Basel, they came up with the recipe for the Basler Läckerli, and it is something very local. And that was the beginning of many of manufacturing sites, like they just popped up. And amongst them, 1753 was ours. It was the family Steiger. They had a little coffee shop downtown, and they also started selling Läckerlis.
Astrid continued to share the company's history, the ups and downs, the different owners, and how the business almost didn't survive, until Andreas and Charlotte Custer, the current owners, took the reins in 2016. We even had the chance to meet Andreas, who gave us a sample of their rich, high-quality chocolate used in the modern recipes.
In order for you to know what I'm talking about, I would ask you to please grab a bag.
The Leckerli are arranged in historical order, allowing us to taste how they evolved over the centuries.
This is the original one from the 1700s, and I think that's really special, like going back and trying a taste of history. That really excites me. It's really nice, and like the sweetness is perfect. Texture, it's not too hard, it's not too soft.
Next one, 18th century. Now the sugar became more of a theme. So you will see much more sugar inside, the sugar coating, more flavors. Amongst them, you will probably taste candied peels of orange and lemon, quite strong.
I really like candied lemon and orange, so I'm excited about that. It's really, really good.
Please try the chocolate one, and I will also show you our little chocolate machine, how it's done. You have to imagine there will be chocolate floating. It's all basically from the 60s. And the good thing about these kind of old machines, once we found a mechanic that still knows how to deal with them, but they are in the end very simple and undestroyable.
I've been really excited to try the chocolate covered one. Oh, that's my favorite. So. And the chocolate is really good too.
That thing about the boxes is that once you've eaten up what's inside, you might throw it away and forget about it. So it's much better to have a metal tin, and they are really cool. So this is the Lallekönig. He's a landmark in Basel. You will find him on your way back to the city at the next bridge in the corner on a building. And Lallekönig means the king with the tongue. Lalle is tongue in Swiss German, Basel Swiss German. And he looks from our side, the big side of Basel, over the bridge and the river towards the other side of Basel. And we do not always like each other. So whenever someone is passing the bridge, he will point out his tongue and roll his eyes.
That's good.
And that was really something special and new in the packaging industry in Switzerland. So in 2019, when they launched this box, they actually won the Swiss Packaging Award with the Lallekönig tin. Bakers, they come every morning. They choose to come very early. It takes about 7 hours for them from start to finish. So they will be back with their families around lunchtime. And they will start by grinding the almonds. They need to lift this quite heavy stone. And they will fill the almonds in here. And by the weight of the stone and the rotating slice, the almonds will be grinded. You want to try? Great. Fantastic.
I need help
I will
from
do
my
it on the
other
way
hand.
up again, because when it's empty, it goes like this. So you see, we have strong bakers. And this machine is really cool. It was invented in Germany around World War I. It was the first machine that imitates the movements of the baker. So it works like this. The flour, the flavors, like the sugar, the almonds, will be put in here. It will also put a lot of very hot liquid honey and some kirsch, some kind of schnapps they will put inside.
Are you telling us the recipe?
Once the dough is ready, they will continue working at these tables. Sugar coating, one here. You can even feel they are always warm at least.
After the biscuits get sliced through the special machine, they are taken to the next room to be inspected and packaged.
You're going to do one of our really lovely lucky boxes. Tunnel it through on top here and you do a really nice bow.
Okay.
Also for you to know, very important, to get a bit stressed, our ladies, they do one of these complete boxes in 50 seconds.
We both gave this a try and it took us way more than 50 seconds.
What do you think? Is she gonna get hired?
No, she was too slow. She did a very good job, but she was too slow. We do not just throw the crumbles away, we save them because we really try to have no food waste. And we have other small companies coming by and picking it up. We have a small beer brewery, they do Leckerly beer. We have an ice cream factory, a small one. They do very nice Leckerly ice cream. And two guys, now they do spices.
I love seeing the use of everything.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Of course, before we leave, we have to have one more Leckerly.
If you are in Basel, you gotta come here. The Läckerlis are delicious and I think there's one for every taste. What a great tour and great people.
And everyone that we talked to just seems so passionate about what they're doing within the company, and it's really inspiring, especially with something that goes back so far.
We arrived yesterday, so we had a few hours to explore Basel. We're just shocked. I mean, we had an idea, but the city has exceeded our expectations. Just like Astrid was saying, the culture it has, the amount of museums. So Olivia and I are so excited to go. And that's the Kunstmuseum, and it has the oldest public art collection. We're talking Picasso, we're talking Matisse. We're gonna see a lot of famous art that I never thought I'd actually get to see up close. And you may have noticed the Rhine behind me. More on that later.
Actually a water fountain where you can get water from to drink. There's a cute little dog one at the bottom, it's so sweet.
Another thing that Basel is known for is its design and architecture. And we're going to try to show you as many as we can. And we're gonna start with this one. So we're just looking to find it. I think we're going the wrong direction. We came here for the architecture, but we ended up in a unique DNA exhibit because one of the fathers of major research for DNA was from here in Basel, and we're learning some really interesting stuff. And the most exciting thing of all is an interactive DNA. So you're trying to fix the red light there. It lights up to tell us where we're at. We're going down the DNA path. Boom. If biology was like this in school, this is amazing. It like captures your attention. Now I know what a mutation looks like. This is just amazing.
I'm gonna guess.
So it's a T when it's supposed to be,
I'm guessing G.
This is a DNA strand. A is made up of 4 building blocks represented by the letters A, T, C, and G. A always pairs with T and C always pairs with G, which we didn't know at the time.
didn't work.
I thought it did at first. Me too.
Who knew would come to Basel and learn more about DNA? This is really cool because it tells you how much human DNA you share with, for example, a chimpanzee, or 85% with a mouse.
The campus is only open during business hours, Monday through Friday, and it's Saturday. What we've really loved here in Basel so far is that anyone staying at a hotel gets a Basel card, which gives you quite good access to a lot of the attractions here. But the most impressive part of the Basel card is that you get free public transportation. And we were curious how much we were saving. We looked at the price of a ticket, which came out to around 4 Swiss francs. So you're saving a lot of money. It's lunchtime and we have come to a restaurant called Ufer 7. It's on the Rhine, it has really beautiful views, and its specialties are local ingredients and Swiss dishes kind of with a modern twist. I got a lemonade, which is very different than I expected. It is more of like an herby house lemonade with some fizzy water, and it's really refreshing.
And I got what they call an apple spritz. And from what our waiter told us, it's a very classic summer drink here. The food has arrived and I'm really excited because I've never had fish and chips like this before. It's a Swiss alpine perch. I'm gonna dip it in this herb mayo. Swiss alpine perch tastes really, really good. The batter is really nice and crispy with a full flavor. And the garlic herb mayo adds so much flavor. Really nice and crispy.
We also got a big salad, which sounded really nice. And there is roasted vegetables, tomatoes, a honey mustard dressing, and crispy chicken, which looks really good.
What I'm curious about is these vegetables.
It's like a sweet potato or like a carrot.
I think it's a root of something.
I think it's carrot, yellow carrot.
Carrot?
It's like a lighter taste.
All right, we're gonna get eating so we can digest as quickly as we can because we gotta do what everyone should do when they come to Basel and the weather conditions are right. Soon we will be joining all those people floating down the Rhine, and it wasn't always like this. In the older days, it used to be really, really dirty, but after spending a lot of money and time, the city was able to clean it and make it one of the cleanest rivers. I feel very safe going in and swimming. Olivia is a bit nervous about the current that takes you down, but after observing everyone and seeing how relaxed they are, I'm so excited. And take a look behind me. During the summer, they do a lot of events around the river. So you can literally float down the river and enjoy a live concert. Or you can come one of the countless buvettes and have a drink, coffee, sit and enjoy while you watch everyone float by.
This morning we tried Leckerly, Basel's original cookie from the 1700s, and now we are going to try a modern cookie from Basel. And we'll be having dinner here in just a bit.
It's so hard when you look at Google reviews to see a 4.9 out of hundreds of reviews, and this place has it. So the expectations are high. Sometimes that's a bad thing, so let's find out.
I love visiting somewhere. You turn down a side street and you just feel like you're walking back in time, and I love the architecture.
Oh, and the cookie shop is here in the old town, so we're gonna learn some history. Cute little area. Wow. We got the chocolate chip and caramel. Oh, all that gooey caramel. The chew of the cookie is exactly what the chew of a chocolate chip cookie should be. Oh my God, perfect texture. The caramel is just so good.
People have enjoyed these cookies so much here that they actually ship throughout the country. It has that like soft look in the middle without being doughy. Yeah, the caramel is fantastic. Wow. Yeah, that is really good.
All right, now we're gonna throw you to our future selves where it's tomorrow and we are going to explore the Munster and a little more of the old town. Thank you, Maria and Olivia from the present.
Today, Basel stands as a gateway to Switzerland and the tri-border region. Its central location makes it an ideal hub for exploring not only the city but also a range of diverse destinations nearby, all without even changing hotels. But Basel's history stretches back to the Celts, who settled here centuries before recorded history. By 30 BC, the Romans recognized its strategic value, establishing a military stronghold where the cathedral now stands. Basel grew into an intellectual center with the establishment of its university in 1460, attracting a lot of prominent scholars. Perhaps one of the most impressive and photographed spots in the city is the town hall, and for good reason. Its striking red facade and rich decoration make it a standout piece of Renaissance architecture in Basel's old town, symbolizing the city's political and economic strength, the Rhine. Now, let's go find out more about the Minster.
Built on the foundations of the Hato Minster, Basel Minster has seen many transformations over the centuries. Originally ordered by Bishop Adalberto II in the early 11th century, the current structure largely dates back to the late 12th century, with key additions and modifications throughout the centuries.
Let's see if we can get to the top and catch some amazing views of the Rhine and Basel in general.
Once a Catholic cathedral, the Minster became Protestant during the Reformation. Inside, highlights include the Tomb of Erasmus of Rotterdam, intricate wood carvings, and impressive stained glass windows.
There's two different towers with two different sets of stairs. One set of stairs is a little more intimidating. This is the first set of stairs that we're gonna go
This is
through.
the least intimidating?
No, this is just the first one. We're gonna make our way to like the halfway point where there's almost like a balcony. Very steep stairs.
Watch your head.
Whoa, this is so cool.
Like I'm going in like...
You gotta crawl. This is fun. I love stuff like that. If you aren't claustrophobic, I do not recommend this.
It's very beautiful. Okay, I don't think there's anything to hold on to though, so we're gonna have to be extra careful.
Well, this is the St. George Tower, and it's a tiny bit higher than the St. Martin. And this one is 45 meters, St. Martin's is 43, so I don't think there's gonna be that much of a difference from the viewpoint.
There's a rope to hold on to.
Ah, okay. Oh, they told us it gets really dark.
It's gonna be fun coming down all these.
That's the St. Martin's Tower. Wow, the views are just spectacular. Two towers were built about 30 years apart, so they have two different architects, so that's why their style is a bit different. And you can actually see the stairs from the outside on the St. Martin's Tower. It's just so nice and peaceful to just come in and take in everything. And I think today, because it's not as sunny and hot as it was yesterday, there's less people out doing things, and it's a lot more calm.
I love those courtyards. Makes me think of Harry Potter.
All right, going down.
25.
230 steps. Difficult ones too. But very, very enjoyable. I really enjoy those things.
It almost...
You do too once you're down safe.
Yeah, when you're going down and that I don't have the smallest feet.
Next here in the Old Town is going to be the Kunstmuseum, the oldest public art collection in the world. There are two buildings for the museum. The older looking building, I think, has the permanent exhibits, and the newer, more modern looking building has the exhibitions that come and go and are a bit more modern.
I love looking at their expressions and paintings, and I feel like it's such a good look into the time period and whatever the situation. Look at his foot bent backwards.
Oh. Really like the contrast the wall color has with the frames and the paintings. It's just, it really makes the paintings pop. This is perhaps one of the most famous paintings here.
self-portraits for a lot of artists of the era were really important during the Paris period, and that's because models were dear and hard to come by. And so what's better for an artist when you can just use a mirror and do a portrait of yourself, try a bunch of different techniques for hours, you don't have to pay anyone. And so Van Gogh started doing a lot of self-portraits in hopes of commissioning portrait jobs. In 1888, he wrote about this in his diary.
As we entered the 20th Century Hall, we learned about an interesting chapter in the museum's history. In 1967, two of Picasso's masterpieces were on loan at the Kunstmuseum. When the owner decided to sell them, the people of Basel voted in the referendum to allow the public to purchase these works, on the condition that 2.4 million francs be raised privately. Through efforts like the Beggars Festival, the community successfully raised the funds, securing these iconic works for the museum.
We eventually made our way to the newer Kunstmuseum building, where more famous works of art were waiting to be admired.
The building itself is incredibly impressive.
Back into the present. Hope you enjoyed the old town and history we shared with you. We came back to our wonderful hotel that's located right by the station, so it's really convenient with all the trains, all the trams and buses that go through, so it's really easy for us to come back, change, go, and it's all within 10 minutes. So now we have our swimsuits on and we're gonna go do what the locals do here, swim down the Rhine.
So if you come to Basel and you even just look at everyone floating down the river, the majority of people have these bags. And it's actually quite genius how it's in the shape of a fish, but you put your belongings, fill it up, you can add air to it for extra flotation, and you just wear it as you're floating. And it's so convenient because if you get in at one point, float, you get out at another, where are you gonna leave your stuff? Bring it with you. And they're so cute. I love this thing so much. So vibey. Such a different summer compared to the Mediterranean, but it's so nice.
All right, let's do this. Ready to join the traffic? Wow, this is oh my god, it's cold! A lot colder than I thought it was. Good. No, wait for me. Oh, this is nice. It feels so good. When are they gonna start raining? Okay, now. Oh my god, this is so cool. Backwards, it looks like you're going so fast.
And I love how there's so much life along the river too, how they really take advantage of the space, especially in summer. Even if people aren't swimming, they're reading and having snacks, just like enjoying the sun.
Whoa! This is how fast we're going. I don't think I've ever swum in a river before, or a lake.
No, you've never swum in fresh water?
No.
You've only swum in salt water and chlorinated water?
Yeah. Wow, it's really hard to keep afloat. We gotta start planning our exit. So, I think getting off over there, if we can make it in time. Children. I have chains that you can grab on.
It's a lot of fun. The actual floating was a lot more laid back than I thought it would be.
And it lasted for about 20 minutes. It didn't even feel like it was 20 minutes. We went back to the hotel, we showered, and we are back. I guess you'd call this the heart of the old town, since we have the town hall behind us. And we're gonna go grab dinner at a traditional Swiss restaurant, and I am so excited to try certain dishes. I've been thinking about them for the past couple weeks. We sat down at Hasenberg. It's actually one of the oldest restaurants here in Basel. This restaurant has existed for over 120 years, and The building that we're sitting next to, and if it was winter we would be eating inside, is almost 700 years old. It had to be rebuilt, of course, because there was a really big earthquake here in Basel in 1356. So what we see right now is not the complete original, but its structure has been around for almost 700 years. I just gotta say, look at the background Olivia has behind her.
I'm such a lover of the medieval too, here with my wine. I just need it in like a, what do they call it? Goblet.
Goblet.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be our first time trying Swiss wine. I've never had Swiss wine before. I'm really excited. Mine is actually from this region. And I do think it's at Basel, so it is produced around here. Okay, it's a Pinot Noir. I love Pinot Noir. Oh yeah. Oh, that's really nice.
I also am trying a Swiss wine. It's a Riesling, so I'm very excited to try this. It smells very fruity. It's really nice, and I really like the flavor it leaves in my mouth. I think it'll go very well with my food too.
I got very traditional Swiss dish, veal strips with a mushroom cream sauce, and it comes with a local side dish, the rosti. There's a reason why this place has been around for over 120 years. It smells amazing. It's been in front of me for the last 4 minutes as we're filming, and I'm just dying to try this. Wow, the meat looks so tender in the sauce. Just gonna try this by itself. It's so good. I'm gonna dip mine in this sauce. It looks so good. Roasty may be my new favorite side dish.
I went a little less traditional with the pork tenderloin, and it looks really nice with a barbecue sauce on the side, veggies, and a traditional roasty. Oh, that's lovely. I used to love pork tenderloin. I haven't had it for so long. They say that rosti comes from Bern, and it was like a countryside farmer's breakfast. So they would take the potatoes and pretty much make just like a big hash brown. There are fewer things better in the world than just like fried potato. Very good. From the hotel breakfast to this meal to our lunch, everything has been really high quality and impressive.
My avocado toast this morning was probably one of the best avocados I've had since I lived in California. I've been really excited to keep having chocolate here since, you know, Swiss chocolate and all. Oh my gosh, this chocolate is so good. Perfect, perfect. So rich. Oh, the creme brulee is really nice too. Mango mousse. Oh, that's very refreshing. Oh yeah.
I'm so curious to come back in the winter and experience such a different side of the city. It's probably so cozy with all the foods and like the atmosphere. So even though this is amazing and it's such a lovely summer atmosphere, the winter's probably really special.
But you know, you wouldn't have the swimming on the Rhine. So I think you lose some, you win some. So I think it's going to be a very different atmosphere, and you might be watching this video because you are coming here during the Christmas market, and you're gonna have an amazing time. You just have to make sure you come back in the summer because you have swimming on the Rhine, you have the buvettes where you can eat and drink outside, and you have some really awesome day trips from here that you can do a lot easier if there's not a lot of snow on the ground. So now to digest our food, we're gonna make our way to Splentor, and that is one of the gates of the city, and it's what she said.
I think this is my favorite part of the city so far. It's so still, it feels a bit more residential.
It's literally just steps away from the old town where all the tourism is, and you step in here and you feel like it's completely local. Look at this park. I love this park. It's so much green, so many trees throughout the city. Trouble by trouble. We made it to Splentor, and it's one of the 3 city gates here in Basel. It's actually one of the most impressive gates here in Switzerland, and it dates all the way back to 1080. And this used to be the gate where a lot of goods from Alsace would make their way into Basel, which, by the way, we are going to be exploring the Alsatian region. And I just love this backdrop that it creates. This is a perfect photo op. The street behind is just so cute. It is quite majestic.
Like, this to me is the epitome of medieval.
We hope you enjoyed this video as much as we did making it.
We're certainly enjoying our time here so far, and we're so excited to explore more.
And we want to thank the Basel Tourism Board for making this trip possible for us. If you are coming to Basel, the website they have is amazing. You will find all the restaurants you need to know, all the activities you need to know. You can even make bookings for the day trips that they have.
And plan like different stops on your trip.
As always, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to watch more of our videos.
Good night.